Have you ever wondered why so many people walk around rubbing their necks or rolling their shoulders, almost as if it's normal to live with pain? What if I told you that neck and shoulder pain isn't just a sign of getting older or sitting too long? It's actually your body's way of speaking to you, asking for change. Most neck and shoulder pain is not caused by age or wear and tear, but by lifestyle habits that quietly shape the way the body functions over time. People are often told that their discomfort is a natural part of getting older, but the truth is that the body is incredibly resilient and designed to last. What wears it down prematurely are the small, repeated choices that add stress and imbalance to muscles, joints, and circulation. These choices accumulate day after day until tension turns into pain, and stiffness becomes a constant companion. The remarkable part is that once you identify these hidden causes, you begin to see that much of the pain is preventable and often reversible. The most common culprit is posture, especially in the modern world where so much time is spent leaning over phones, computers, or steering wheels. Every inch the head moves forward places additional pressure on the neck, equivalent to several extra pounds of weight. Over hours, days, and years, this constant forward pull strains muscles and compresses joints. It's not that the spine is deteriorating naturally with age, it's that we have taught it to carry weight in a way it was never designed to handle. Correcting posture, lifting the chin, pulling the shoulders back, and aligning the head can feel awkward at first, but over time it relieves the strain and allows muscles to relax. Another often overlooked factor is stress. Emotional and mental tension manifests physically, especially in the upper body. People under pressure unconsciously raise their shoulders, clench their jaws, and breathe shallowly, creating a cycle where muscles stay tight and circulation slows. This is why so many who live with high stress find themselves massaging their necks or rolling their shoulders throughout the day. It isn't their age that causes this stiffness, but the invisible weight of unrelieved stress. Deep breathing, mindfulness, and intentional relaxation can help break this pattern and free the body from its grip. Nutrition also plays a key role. Deficiencies in magnesium, potassium, and vitamin D, along with dehydration, can cause muscles to contract and refuse to let go. Without the right minerals, the body struggles to relax, leading to chronic tightness that no massage or stretch can fully resolve. At the same time, diets high in processed foods, refined sugars, and inflammatory oils make the body more prone to swelling and stiffness. What feels like muscle strain is often aggravated by an internal fire of inflammation fueled by poor dietary habits. Shifting to whole, nutrient-rich foods, vegetables, nuts, seeds, healthy fats, and adequate hydration provides the body with what it needs to support relaxation and healing. Movement, or the lack of it, is another factor. Sedentary habits weaken the muscles that should be stabilizing the neck and shoulders. Hours of stillness create stiffness, while regular stretching and strength training build resilience. The body craves motion. When it is deprived of it, pain becomes the signal. Neck and shoulder pain, then, is not an unavoidable fate tied to the passage of years. It is a reflection of how we live, how we sit, move, eat, and handle stress. The empowering truth is that by changing these habits, you can change the outcome. Pain is not a sentence of aging, but a message from the body asking you to realign, restore, and return to the way it was designed to function. Poor posture, especially from phones and screens, is one of the biggest hidden culprits behind neck and shoulder pain, yet most people don't realize how deeply it affects their health. In today's world, hours are spent leaning forward, scrolling through social media, working on computers, or watching television. What seems like a harmless tilt of the head or rounding of the shoulders actually places enormous stress on the muscles and joints. The human head weighs about 10 to 12 pounds in a neutral position, but for every inch the head leans forward, that weight effectively doubles or triples. Over time, this constant strain causes muscles to tighten, ligaments to overstretch, and joints to compress, leading to stiffness, discomfort, and sometimes even long-term damage. The danger of poor posture is not just in how it looks, but in how it slowly transforms the body's mechanics. Muscles in the front of the body, like the chest and shoulders, begin to shorten from being pulled forward, while the muscles in the back, especially between the shoulder blades, weaken from underuse. This imbalance creates a vicious cycle where the body struggles to maintain proper alignment. Many people try to relieve the pain with quick fixes like massages or painkillers, but unless posture is corrected, the relief is temporary and the problem returns. Another hidden consequence of poor posture is its effect on circulation and breathing. When the shoulders roll forward and the chest caves in, the lungs cannot fully expand. Shallow breathing becomes the norm, which decreases oxygen intake and leaves the body and brain less energized. At the same time, circulation in the neck and shoulders can become restricted, which contributes to fatigue and muscle stiffness. What starts as a simple slump can lead to headaches, brain fog, and even mood changes over time because the body is not receiving the oxygen and blood flow it needs. The modern reliance on screens only intensifies the issue. Hours of looking down at a phone has given rise to what many call text neck. This condition describes the forward head posture that develops from staring down for prolonged periods. Teenagers and young adults are experiencing problems that used to appear only in middle age, proving that it is not age but habits that are to blame. The more time spent with the head tilted forward, the more strain accumulates. This posture doesn't only affect the neck, it also pulls on the entire spine, leading to misalignment that can cause pain in the lower back and hips as well. Correcting poor posture begins with awareness. Many people are simply unaware of how often they slump or tilt their heads forward. The first step is noticing and then gently correcting these habits throughout the day. Small changes such as raising a phone to eye level, adjusting computer screens so they are directly in front of the eyes, and setting reminders to sit upright can make an enormous difference. Strengthening the muscles of the back, stretching the chest, and practicing deep breathing exercises help restore balance and alignment. Poor posture is not a small cosmetic issue, but a silent thief of comfort, energy, and health. It creeps into daily life unnoticed, fueled by modern technology and constant screen time until the body cries out in pain. The empowering truth is that with conscious correction and consistent practice, posture can be retrained, pain can be reduced, and vitality can return. It may be one of the biggest hidden culprits, but it is also one of the most fixable if only we choose to pay attention. Stress and shallow breathing create tension that locks pain into muscles. Yet most people underestimate how closely the mind and body are connected. When stress builds up, the body doesn't just respond emotionally. It reacts physically, sending signals through hormones and the nervous system that prepare you for fight or flight. Your heart rate increases, muscles tighten, and your breathing becomes short and shallow. For a brief period, this response is useful. But when stress becomes constant, the body remains in a state of tension, and the muscles, particularly in the neck and shoulders, bear the burden. The shoulders rise unconsciously toward the ears, the jaw clenches, and the back stiffens. Over time, this state of chronic tightness becomes the default, locking pain into muscles that were never meant to stay activated around the clock. Shallow breathing worsens the cycle. Proper deep breathing engages the diaphragm and allows oxygen to fully saturate the lungs and bloodstream. This relaxes the body, lowers cortisol, and promotes calm. But when someone is stressed, the breath moves only into the upper chest. Instead of expanding and releasing, the chest stays tight and the muscles in the neck and shoulders overwork to assist in pulling in air. This constant misuse of small accessory muscles leads to soreness, fatigue, and even headaches. What started as emotional stress is now embedded in the body as physical pain. The problem is that many people live with this tension for so long that they think it is normal. They wake up with stiff shoulders, feel tightness throughout the day, and go to bed with aching muscles, not realizing that their breathing patterns and unrelieved stress are at the root. Pain relievers may dull the symptoms temporarily, but they never address the underlying cycle of stress, shallow breathing, and muscle tension. Breaking this cycle requires awareness and intentional practice. When you begin to notice your breath, whether it is deep or shallow, you gain the ability to shift it. Deep, diaphragmatic breathing floods the body with oxygen, signals safety to the nervous system, and allows muscles to relax. Just a few minutes of conscious breathing can reduce tension and create a sense of calm, proving that the body responds almost instantly when given the right conditions. Stress management is equally essential. The nervous system cannot distinguish between real threats and imagined ones. Worrying about deadlines or replaying negative thoughts can trigger the same physical responses running from danger. Practices like mindfulness, meditation, prayer, or simply taking short breaks to reset the mind help deactivate the stress response. As stress diminishes, the body releases its grip and the muscles begin to soften. Movement also plays a role. Gentle stretches, yoga, or even short walks help flush out the tension stored in muscles, improving circulation and bringing relief. Pairing movement with deep breathing multiplies the benefits, teaching the body a new pattern of relaxation instead of tension. Stress and shallow breathing are not just mental or emotional issues. They are physical forces that bind pain into the body. Recognizing this connection is the first step to freedom. When you learn to breathe deeply, manage stress intentionally, and move regularly, the muscles no longer need to carry the burden of fear and worry. Instead, they return to their natural state of flexibility and strength. Pain that seemed permanent begins to fade, replaced by a sense of lightness and resilience. The body holds onto what the mind cannot release, but with awareness and practice, you can break the cycle and unlock healing. Deficiencies in key nutrients like magnesium and vitamin D can weaken muscles and worsen pain, yet many people overlook just how much these micronutrients influence everyday comfort and mobility. Pain in the neck, shoulders, or other areas is often blamed on aging, stress, or posture, but in many cases the foundation of the problem lies in what the body is lacking. Muscles are not just bundles of fibers, they are living tissues that depend on minerals and vitamins to contract, relax, and repair properly. When the supply of those essential nutrients is low, the body begins to struggle, and even small movements can feel strained or uncomfortable. Magnesium, for instance, is a mineral involved in over 300 biochemical reactions in the body, many of which are directly related to muscle health. It plays a vital role in helping muscles relax after contraction. Without enough magnesium, muscles tend to cramp, spasm, or stay tight, locking in tension that feels like constant stiffness or soreness. Low magnesium also disrupts the nervous system, heightening sensitivity to pain and reducing the ability to calm down stress responses. Unfortunately, modern diets filled with processed foods and stripped grains leave many people chronically deficient, creating a silent problem that manifests as aches, cramps, and lingering discomfort. Vitamin D is equally crucial, but for different reasons. Often called the sunshine vitamin, it not only supports bone strength, but also regulates calcium absorption, which is essential for muscle function. Without adequate vitamin D, calcium cannot properly enter the muscles, leaving them weak and more prone to pain. Deficiency has also been linked to chronic pain conditions, fatigue, and even mood disorders, which can indirectly increase the perception of pain. Since many people spend most of their time indoors, natural vitamin D production from sunlight is limited, making deficiency more common than most realize. The combination of low magnesium and vitamin D creates a perfect storm for muscular discomfort. Weak muscles struggle to support the neck and shoulders during daily activities, leading to strain and misalignment. At the same time, tight, cramping muscles from magnesium deficiency create knots of tension that never seem to release. This is why some people find that no matter how many massages they get or how much they stretch, the pain always returns. It isn't just a structural issue, but a nutritional one. Correcting these deficiencies can dramatically change how the body feels. Incorporating magnesium-rich foods like leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and whole grains helps muscles relax and recover. Vitamin D can be increased through safe sun exposure, fatty fish, egg yolks, and supplementation when necessary. When these nutrients are restored, muscles gain the fuel they need to function optimally, and chronic pain often decreases as the tissues begin to work as they were designed to. Pain is not always a punishment of age, but often a message from the body about what it is missing. By paying attention to nutrient intake, especially magnesium and vitamin D, you give the body the tools to relax, strengthen, and heal. Instead of accepting constant tension as normal, you can address the root cause and unlock a level of comfort and energy that makes life not only more bearable, but enjoyable. Inflammation from processed foods can aggravate stiffness and discomfort in ways that most people never connect to their daily meals. When the body consumes foods loaded with refined sugars, unhealthy oils, preservatives, and chemical additives, it sets off a chain reaction that directly affects muscles, joints, and overall mobility. The body views many of these ingredients as foreign invaders, triggering an immune response that floods the system with inflammatory chemicals. While this process is meant to protect when it happens day after day through diet, it becomes chronic and destructive. Instead of healing, the body is locked in a cycle of irritation, and pain becomes a constant signal that something is wrong. One of the main culprits is refined sugar. Every time blood sugar spikes, the body releases insulin, and over time this promotes systemic inflammation. High sugar diets also increase the production of advanced glycation end products, AGEs, compounds that damage proteins and tissues, making muscles less flexible and joints more rigid. This stiffness is often felt most in the neck, shoulders, and lower back, where tension already tends to collect. For people who already live with pain, sugar acts like fuel on a fire, intensifying soreness and making recovery slower. Processed oils such as soybean, corn, and canola, commonly found in fried foods and packaged snacks, are another driver of inflammation. These oils are high in omega-6 fatty acids, which, when consumed in excess and without balancing omega-3s, encourage the body to produce pro-inflammatory molecules. Over time, this imbalance creates an environment where even small injuries or stress to muscles trigger exaggerated responses, leading to swelling, stiffness, and persistent discomfort. Preservatives and chemical additives also play a role. Artificial flavors, colors, and stabilizers found in processed foods may extend shelf life or improve taste, but the body often reacts to them with immune activation. Though subtle, these reactions accumulate, contributing to widespread inflammation that can affect not only muscles and joints but also energy levels and mental clarity. What feels like ordinary fatigue or stiffness after a long day may actually be the body battling against what was eaten hours before. The digestive system suffers greatly under a processed food diet, and unhealthy gut leaks toxins into the bloodstream, which further fuels inflammation throughout the body. This is why stiffness and discomfort are often paired with bloating, fatigue, or brain fog. The same internal fire is reaching multiple systems at once. By contrast, when the gut is nourished with whole foods, fiber, and probiotics, it strengthens the immune system and reduces the inflammatory load on the body, allowing tissues to heal and muscles to relax. The hopeful truth is that change is possible and often quickly felt. When people shift from processed foods to whole, nutrient-dense meals, rich in vegetables, lean proteins, healthy fats, and natural sources of antioxidants, they notice reduced stiffness within weeks. Muscles feel looser, joints move more freely, and energy levels rise. Inflammation quiets down, and the body begins to repair rather than fight itself. Stiffness and discomfort are not inevitable parts of life or aging. They are often symptoms of a system overwhelmed by the wrong fuel. By removing processed foods and choosing what truly nourishes, the body can calm the storm of inflammation and rediscover freedom of movement, vitality, and comfort. The path to healing often begins not with a pill, but with a plate. Healing requires both physical correction, like movement and posture, and inner balance through relaxation and nourishment, because the body and mind are not separate systems, but two halves of the same whole. Too often, people focus only on one side of the equation. Some try to fix pain by stretching, exercising, or adjusting their posture while ignoring the stress, poor diet, and lack of rest that silently undermine their progress. Others devote themselves to meditation, relaxation, or supplements, but never address the way their body moves or the daily positions that keep muscles locked in strain. True healing comes when both the physical and the inner aspects of health are addressed together, creating harmony that allows the body to reset and restore. Physical correction is the foundation. Our bodies are designed for movement, yet modern lifestyles keep people sitting for hours in front of screens, slouching with phones, or standing with poor alignment. Over time, this creates tension in the muscles and misalignment in the joints, especially in the neck, shoulders, and back. Correcting posture, standing tall, sitting upright, and making sure screens are at eye level are simple but powerful steps to remove unnecessary strain. Movement is equally vital. When muscles contract and release through walking, stretching, or exercise, blood circulation improves, oxygen reaches the tissues, and stiffness melts away. Without these physical corrections, the body continues to operate under mechanical stress that locks in pain. Yet physical changes alone cannot heal if the inner environment is in chaos. Stress, worry, and mental exhaustion create a constant state of tension. The nervous system reacts as though it is under attack, and muscles remain tight even during rest. Relaxation practices such as deep breathing, mindfulness, or prayer calm the nervous system, lower stress hormones, and allow muscles to release their grip. Inner balance also depends on nourishment. Muscles and nerves rely on nutrients like magnesium, vitamin D, omega-3 fatty acids, and antioxidants to function and repair. Without the right fuel, tissues remain inflamed and recovery is delayed. A balanced diet of whole foods, hydration, and adequate sleep provides the internal resources the body needs to rebuild strength and resilience. The combination of these two elements, outer correction and inner nourishment, creates synergy. When someone improves posture but also learns to breathe deeply, muscles not only align correctly but also relax more fully. When someone exercises while also eating nutrient-dense foods, recovery is faster and energy is sustained. When someone practices mindfulness alongside stretching, Both the mind and body release tension, creating lasting relief instead of temporary fixes. Healing is not about chasing symptoms, it is about restoring balance on every level. Pain, stiffness, and fatigue are not enemies, but signals that one part of the system is out of alignment, either physically or internally. By addressing both sides, you give the body its full chance to repair, renew, and thrive. Lasting wellness comes when posture and movement free the body, while relaxation and nourishment feed the spirit within. In that balance, true